Follow the back roads long enough and they just might take you back in time. Back to a place where air conditioning meant opening a window, and going to work meant stepping off the front porch and onto the family farm.
We live pretty simply out here. We don't have air conditioning, and we try to keep everything as simple as possible. Cities are so full of hustle and bustle and people trying to get everything done and do it so fast from 9 to 5. This is just kind of the opposite end of the spectrum, and it's a lot more relaxed, and we definitely enjoy it.
Take a look at Guy and Pip Gillette, and you'll see a couple of cowpunchers who look like they never made it all the way to town. Truth is, these countrified brothers grew up a world away from the piney woods, and for certain, their trail hand talents are a lot more impressive when you consider their upbringing. See, Guy and Pip actually grew up 1,500 miles from Crockett, Texas, a stone's throw from New York City.
Our grandfather, V.H. Porter, which stood for Virgil Hoyt Porter, started ranching here in 1912. His wife, Lucy, she ran a little commissary store out on the place for a number of years. Our parents had met in New York City. They were both going to school at the time. I was born, I was, let's say, an exotic island in the Far East, Staten Island. And we would come down here every summer and stay with our grandparents.
Guy and Pip went to school in New York, but they got their education right here. Under the watchful eye of their grandfather, the Gillette brothers spent their summers learning to work hard, and they learned to play hard too, inspired by the sights and sounds of the country.
Old Diamond Joe was a rich old jay, had lots of cowboys in his pay. He roamed the range with his cowboy band, and many a maverick bore his brand.
You know, the music that we mostly are concentrated and fascinated with are these folk songs that were mostly written, like I said, by people who really wrote about their daily experiences, their own culture, their own lives. To me, there's nothing more exciting than that, because it's really almost like these people speaking out of the grave.
Before long, Guy and Pip felt the urge to share their talents with the public once again. And in a few months, an abandoned building near downtown Crockett was transformed into the Gillette brothers' own Camp Street Cafe.
Good evening. Welcome to the Camp Street Cafe and Store. Thank you very much. We're going to do a song off our newest CD. It goes like this. Camp Street has evolved in a way that we never dreamt it might. We had played the New York area, that Northeast, so much, and we were really looking to do something else. I suppose perhaps something to be said for playing huge arenas, maybe when paycheck comes, but as far as the real experience, it's really not what music was designed for. You know, this is sort of the scale, kind of a human scale. The audiences come here for one reason alone, and that's to listen to music.
Look at me, mama, mama, why'd you let me go? Hold on, baby, how long?
A few chords in, and the crowd is mesmerized by the simple, fascinating sounds of days gone by. When the show's over and the last round of applause fades away, Guy and Pip know they've done their part to preserve the past. Their past. Probably your past, too.
I guess I sound like, someone who is a couple hundred years old, but I just remember all of it so well, and it's so much of it is gone, and I don't necessarily think for the better. And I'm not at all against progress and things, but what I definitely also really feel strongly about is that it seems a shame to me that we don't save the good from the past and the good from the present and the future, and try to make this all work better. That's why it's really important to us, because you're losing reality is what you're losing. The nature of our society is that the country isn't the country anymore. What we're attempting to preserve here is a way of life that was and still is. You can say people used to live like that. Well, people still do. So that's kind of what it all kind of comes down to.
For a couple of city boys, this small stretch of land with all its creek beds and winding trails must seem like a paradise of sorts, a paradise nearly lost forever to the unrelenting march of something called progress. But the roots of history run deep, and Guy, Pip, and this family farm are proof that yesterday isn't gone. It's just hiding in places like this, in Crockett, Texas.
It kind of reminds you of times past, and you can see your grandfather sometime, he kind of just appears, you know, in your mind.
There's no question that it really does feel like home, where you really feel a kinship with the whole, I don't know, the whole, whatever makes Texas, Texas somehow. It's kind of hard to define. I don't think I can. But somehow or other, there's no place like home.